Ah, ah. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Um, yeah, here we are, another live show on a Tuesday night. I seem to always do this either on a Tuesday night or a Thursday night, and probably should have let you guys know sooner when I was going to do this. But again, if people come on, I'll gladly talk to you guys. I'll answer questions. We can talk about whatever. Um, I just wanted to jump on and I guess just blow out some shit that's happening, all that good stuff. Talk about the productions and um, what is happening here and there and everywhere. You know, as some of you know, I am right in the thick of pre-production for my new film. Um, and sorry guys, and we're shooting in the summer. I cannot talk about what it is. Jr. Bookwalter, who is producing the film, does not want me to talk about the what it's about or what it is just yet. As we get closer, I guess he's going to be a little more lenient on that. Um, but I am in pre-production at the moment, and uh, you know, paying for plane tickets and locations and all of that stuff so far. The shoot insurance, which we just paid for, and I am in the middle of writing, so that's what's happening with that. Yes, Mark. Hello, hello. He is eagerly awaiting for his Bonejack Hill, Bonejack High, and Stoinky Saga Blu-rays. Indeed, indeed. Hopefully, you'll enjoy them. They are packed to the brim of the disc with cheese and extras. Quite a variety of Seaver in those two discs from many different years. Um, but yeah, so my days consist of the pre-production of this movie we're shooting in the summer, and eh, none of this stuff is easy when you're making these movies. For the most part, I am the you know writer, director, co-producer, and editor, and so I'm doing a lot of it on my own, getting things paid for, and the budget comes in increments, and um, it's actually going quite fast with the amount of stuff we're paying for this one. Um, it's not like it used to be back in the day. Uh, you know, shooting movies 30 years ago when I was 20 years ago. We could get away with a lot more. People were letting us do a lot more without permits and without insurance and without location fees and things like that. And you know that is definitely not the case the last 10, 15 years. Yeah. I would say about that. Um, and for me, the script is always the hardest part. The outline has been done. Clint Kelly and I uh, came up with the story, um, and now it's like it is with every Chris Seaver movie. I sit at that computer and I wallow in my own insecurities, and it's a struggle sometimes to get through it. Just because I put like a lot of pressure on myself, which is really unnecessary, and so it can be a uh, little bit of a struggle, just because I want to make each script funnier than the last. Um, you know, and like I said, it's putting that pressure on myself. So we'll see, we'll see. Uh, you know, I have, like I said, the outline is done. There's so many gags, so many weird words that come to me, set pieces that I'll like type in my phone, put in my notes, or I'll run to a pad of paper and write down. And who can say this? Where am I gonna add this? What character is gonna do this? Um, you know, and for the most part, it's beginning, middle, and end. It's all there. It's just me trying to outdo the last script. So I wish I didn't feel that way. I wish I didn't have that pressure. It's so unnecessary. Um, when generally these things should just be fun and exciting to do. So, but yeah, that movie's coming along. Um, thank you, Mark. Thank you. He says, "Don't worry if it's half as good as the Weird Z's. It should be great. Love your cameo in that as well. Thank you, thank you." Yes, you know what? We love the Weird Z's. We shot that in 2015, and then in 2016 we shot Death of Lantern, the remake, and that's really the last feature that I shot. It's been since 2016, so it's going to be nice to get back out there and make a new feature. I mean, we did shoot the pilot for Wellsville Nights last year, which was amazing, super fun. And Wellsville Nights is what's on deck after the feature. We're going to go back to that, and a Kickstarter is going to be set up to raise the money to shoot the rest of the first season of Wellsville Nights. Um, so that is happening. A Kickstarter will be launched sometime after the production of the movie. So late summer, so that we can shoot the rest of the episodes, hopefully next year, and get it out there, get it on Tubi, and start getting a buzz going for that. But I'll definitely be talking more about the feature as the months go on, and when Bookwalter lets me say more about it. I put out the sort of quote unquote press release. It wasn't like to as many places as it could go out, just my social medias. Um, and I was able to at least release the actors that are in it, um, which is awesome, and it got a great response. And it's the a lot of the original same gang that I make movies with, that I've been making movies with for 20 years. And then some new people that I hired for Wellsville Nights that were amazing, and I have parts for the feature for this feature. Um, so great leads, and then having Debbie back, Debbie Rashawn, who is a legend, and she shot with us for 8 of my movies, and I have not shot a movie with her since 2009, which is nuts. Um, so it's exciting to have her back in the movie, and we have we have a budget where we can actually pay for her to be back. um, but it's going to be fun, uh, you know. So that's happening. Um, then next weekend, April, is it 14th and 15th? I think it is April 14th and 15th. It's whatever that Friday and Saturday is next weekend. I'm going to be in Florida. I'm going to be in Tampa, Florida, as a guest at the Tampa Bay Screams horror convention. Um, you can, look up the website. Just type in Tampa Bay Screams 2023, and it should come up. Where it's going to be. I think it's at a Holiday Inn. Um, but yeah, I've been selling. Well, I've been going to horror conventions since '93 and selling at them since '96, and I've never gone to a Florida convention to promote ever. Uh, I've been to conventions in Florida, but I've never promoted. So this should be interesting. You know, I hope I hope we meet some fans, old and new. And I hope we make some new ones. It's it's an experiment, I guess. They asked if I'd be willing to come out, and I said sure, man. So uh, Clint Kelly, who's a part of the group, is going to be there with me, and so is Olivia, who's a part of the group, and Lauren, who hasn't done anything with us in a long time. Yeah, since 2016. Lauren Vanderfunk, I call her Lauren Van Duren, Dan Doran, Van Duren. She uh, lives out there in Tampa, so she's gonna come and help us promote at the table as well. And I think if you guys, any fans of Bloodfart Lake, um, Nicola, the lead who played Thunder in Bloodfart Lake, um, Caspian Caspian's sister and uh, protagonist in Bloodfart Lake, she is going to be there as well. She's going to be at a different table, but um, you know, you Bloodfart Lake fans, that's another another person you can meet who is in a Chris Seaver movie. So, that should be interesting, fun. I'll also be there with Jr. Book Walter. Um, he will be set up. I would assume we'll be set up together next to each other. I don't know. We'll find out. Uh, this weekend, well, in 2 days, my buddy Andrew, who's in the movies, and Sean, who's in the movies, they're coming up to hang out for 4 days. And we're going to be doing another one of my Saturday morning sleepovers on Saturday, which is going to be really fun. Speaking of Saturday morning sleepovers, I will be announcing the pre order for volume 4 of Saturday morning sleepovers um, tomorrow. So the pre-order for that will go up. People have really been enjoying those. I only do a limited run of those, 25 each. and they always sell out. Uh, and so we've got the one I just curated a new Saturday morning sleepover for the event this Saturday, and that's going to be the one that's going to be volume four. Um, Good stuff. Some good stuff in there. Good stuff in there indeed. If you're an '80s nostalgia warrior and uh, '80s junkie, it's going to be a good marathon of stuff. Um, so yeah, that's what's been going on. Like that's it. I mean, right now it is definitely in the pre-production mode. Um, my wife like she's already sort of like dealing with my stress and my anxiety about the production, even though it's not until the end of July. It's There's a lot that goes into these things, as silly and cheap and ridiculous as they are. There's you know it weighs heavy on my shoulders. So, but in the end, for the most part, it's always worth it. I might not enjoy the final product of a Chris Seaver movie, but um, you know, love it or hate them, they get done. Andrew, you're going to grab a copy. Excellent. Yeah, the pre-orders will go up tomorrow. I mean, you can pre-order now. It's just we'll be putting the ads. We'll put the ad out on the socials tomorrow. It's the regular uh 25 being made for 25 each, volume 4. So thesievage@gmail.com. And those will go, we're putting the shipping date for the end of April, but there's like the other 3 volumes, there's a very good chance that it'll be before that, and they'll ship out before that. But we're giving a nice runway on those because uh, Zach Oliveris, who puts the discs together, makes the discs, all that good stuff. He is a new father. He is a new father to a baby girl. So his life is newly changed. Um, so yeah, the timing is like I said, we're giving that runway a little bit of giving that runway a little bit of runway. So, but yeah, if you guys have any questions, the two that are talking to me right now, again, this is just who knows who pops in. I like just throwing these up when I don't have a proper video ready. And I tell you, I keep procrastinating on the collection video. Because I have been asked to do a new collection video for the Blu-rays and the 4Ks and stuff, and I'm going to, and I've had the tripod set up down there for weeks, and I just you know I don't like doing videos if my energy is low, if I'm not feeling it. No point in doing it. I don't want to push myself to do something that I'm not feeling. So, but it'll happen. It'll happen. As I said, I'm in pre-production mode, so my mind is definitely not on that stuff. Andrew, I was wondering if you have any copies of Paranormal Investigation Agency or Phantom of the Grindhouse for sale. DVD. I do not. Yeah, I mean, I could make. I could get a PIA made on DVD. Uh, so I mean, I guess you could add, you know, $10 to the Saturday morning sleepover. But Phantom of the Grindhouse, some reason I don't know where my master copy is. I don't know where it is. I have a I have the only there was a Blu-ray master of the film made, and it's just one copy. It's the only one in existence, and I have it. But there is something is wrong when it gets near the end of the film on the Blu-ray. There's something that like goes wrong on it. So I do not make copies of that on Blu-ray, and I do not have my DVD master. I don't know where it is. If I ever want to have that movie again on DVD, I'll have to buy it from Amazon probably, which you can get. It's just I don't see any of that money because it goes directly to the company that owns the film. Um, and again, I've tried to buy the rights back for PIA and Phantom of the Grindhouse, and they want a ridiculous price. They want almost triple what they paid me to make them. They want almost triple back, and that ain't happening. But Andrew, I can make a PIA copy with the case, and it's a DVD, and with the sleeve and everything. It would just be $10. Uh, Mark, are you selling your entire back catalog sans the SRS cinema stuff? No, um, I am not. Um, the Blu-rays that you have seen, those are that's what I'm selling. And a lot of those movies I combine into the double features. You know, um, which for a while it was the only way you could get the DVDs. But no, I don't really do the DVDs anymore. Like the Heather and Pugly trilogy, I'll never be selling. Um, I mean, you can get Scrotal Vengeance and the Karaoke Kid in a double feature. Uh, Blood Trim and Bloody Giblets in a double feature. Um, Stevage's Fan Film Frights, which is a bunch of my early '90s uh, flicks and the original LVP members. The very first group that started making movies with me in the early '90s. Um, yeah. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can. What's this one? Nope, that's not the one. Never the one. I should probably just get rid of that one. I don't know. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I don't know why I keep putting that one up. Um, I thought I had all the pictures of the Blu-rays that I offer from my back catalog. But hmm. Well, yeah. So volume one of the classic Seaver films is the Anal Paprika trilogy, and that's a 2 disc set. Let me see. I have some of the sleeves here. Yeah, Savage and Film Frights. It's got a bunch of shit on there. Um, House on Bonejack Hill and Bonejack Hyde double feature with a bunch of shit. Um, Meter Man 1 and 2, the duology, with a whole bunch of special features on that. Of course, the Weirdsies and Evil Night. Um, Happy Holidays and the Dingleberries double feature. Yeah, Anna Paprika trilogy. The Blue Cheese Brothers. Blood Trim and Bloody Giblets. Yeah. The Blue Cheese Brothers. I did say that. Weirdsies. The Death o' Lantern films, Death o' Lantern 1 and 2, and Death o' Lantern the remake. That will be a brand new official Blu-ray that is coming to MakeFlix, probably by October. Um, so that will be out. That'll be a fun release. We did a bunch of new extras for that release, and the films will get a nice little restoration for them. 1 and 2, of course, were shot on VHS, and the Death of Land the remake was shot 4K. But that is getting a brand new official release from MakeFlix, and will be out on Blu-ray uh, in the fall, I believe. So, but there's still some stuff that I don't sell. There might be a uh, there might be an LBP Classics Volume 6 that comes out, which will have some more stuff, maybe some more short films that were on DVD that I'll be, you know, putting over to Blu-ray. Like there's Teen Ape and Bubbles, "Twas the Funk Before Christmas." That's one that was on DVD and not too many people have seen. Um, like I said, the Heather and Pugly movies. Unfortunately, I just won't be doing anything with those. So the people who have them on DVD are the lucky ones. uh, and then there's the SRS stuff, like Deathbone and Ski Wolf and I Spit You on Your Grave and um, the two Bloodfart films, Geek War. Um, I mean, I suppose you know on the down low, I could do a deal for those DVDs, but for the most part, it's if SRS is not selling them anymore, then I mean, I guess that would be the only way to get those DVDs. Like I said, I've tried to inquire about how much it would be to buy the rights back to most of my films, and he just has no interest. So whatever, SRS. Yeah, the Blue Cheese Brothers. I don't even know if there is a normal DVD of that anymore. The Blu-ray, there is something wrong with that Blu-ray. Um, if I do it, it might end up being. I mean, it could possibly be, part of LBP Classics Volume 6, and and just be one of the shorts on that, because we could fill that disc up with a bunch more short films, from the past. So we shall see. We shall see, indeed. But yeah, I mean, right now it's really the only ones that's the ones that I've got going on there. If I had them in front of me, I would show them all off, but I don't. And I just packed a whole bunch away for and sent them to Florida for the Florida convention. Mm. Sorry, guys. I'm getting sensual massages from beyond the grave. If you guys have any more questions, um, I will answer whatever they may be. Andrew, who is my favorite character slash actor to write for? Uh, all right. Now remember, none of these guys are actors. They're all my friends. They just happen to be awesome in front of the camera. Um, and I have a group of loyal group of people again who have been doing this stuff with me for over 20 years, and um, they have come to. I mean, because I love them and they're basically family. We have a shorthand, and they they just know what I want. They've done this enough to really know a Seaver film and how to act in a Seaver film. And not that I don't direct them still, I still do. But uh, it's easy to write for most of the gang because they're so damn good. Um, Again, my insecurities come into play when I'm trying to make each script funnier than the last. But I love writing for. I mean, I really like writing for most everybody. But when Meredith is playing, when I give her like a really weird character to play, I love writing for Meredith. Um, like when she, especially like in Filthy McNasty 3 and 4, when she plays D'Artagnan the Demon, um, it's it's wondrous to write that character and to see her perform it, because she really gets to let loose. Um, Obviously, I love writing Caspian and Leo for Josh. Um, Lance, I love writing Lance for Alec. Um, The only character he's played in my movies, it's Nonstop Lance, and yes, he's playing Lance in the new film. Um, so I love writing for Alec. Jason is great. I love writing for Jason. Um, a lot of you're just gonna get gold with a lot of these guys. And Andrew, I love writing. He doesn't like playing Skippy, but man, do I love writing Skippy for him. It's so fucking funny. Um, and that's a character like we developed together. Like a lot of the characters, me and the person will sit and sort of like riff off of each other of what we want the character to be and sound like, um, and we develop it that way. And then I just sort of uh, run off with it and make it ridiculous. So, but I don't hate writing for any of them. But those are definitely some of my favorites. Travis. Travis hasn't been my friend or in the group since 2010, something like that. But I agree about Meredith. Francis, Francis Graham. Yo, yo, we got a celebrity in the house. Chainsaw. Yeah, Lil Snarge, Leo DeChamp for sure. Andrew, I was hoping for more Lance. Well, you're gonna get more Lance. He is definitely in the new feature. And I can say this: Leo is in the new feature. The Leo character is back um, in the new movie. Skippy is hilarious for sure. Skippy is my favorite character you've conceived. I wish Andrew liked playing him, um, but he doesn't. Andrew's not in the new movie. He just didn't want to do it. So, and that's how it is with everybody. That's why, like, you know, throughout the 30 some years I've been doing this, not everybody is in every movie. Some movies they can't be in it. Some movies they just are like, you know what, I'll sit this one out. They don't feel like doing it. It's not something that they want to be a part of. But then we'll get them on the next one. You know what I mean? So that's just how it is. I don't even know what that would look like anymore to be able to get the entire gang in one movie again. Um, even when we do our gash bashes, which is our annual get together when we're not making a movie. Um, it's tough to get everybody together because everybody is scattered around the country. These are my best friends, and I'm lucky enough to see them as much as I do every year. Um, but I do make it a point to see everybody, and luckily the last 2 years now we have productions to do, so I know I'm going to see a lot of them. Andrew, yes, Leo is returning. Uh, yes, he is. um, yeah, Leo is returning. Like I said, Lance is returning, but I don't want to give it away. But it's not the Lance everyone is used to in the Seaver world. Leo is my hands down favorite character. Thank you, thank you. I love writing Leo, and Josh is amazing playing him. Um, being a new fan, I have to ask if your upcoming production is a sequel to something. If so, what? If you're allowed to say, it is not a sequel. It is not. And in my movies, it doesn't have to be. Like all these characters, all these, the interweaving of all of this shit. It's just how it's been. Even when characters die in another movie, it has no relevance to any of the movies that I do. Characters can show up whenever and wherever. It doesn't matter. Uh, even in sequels, where in the last movie characters clearly died, but in the second one they're back. Um, and if that is the case, I always make it a point to write in jokes about that, about the characters. I was dead for a year and you killed me, but don't do that again, type of thing. And again, it's really because I love writing certain characters over and over and over again. If I'm writing and I'm laughing at myself at what these characters are doing or saying, um, that's usually a good sign that I'm gonna end up wanting to write them over and over and over again. Certainly, once they start to be performed, uh, and I see the words being brought to life by the gang, and then I'm like, oh man, you know. The thing with Andrew, it's funny, like he has to sit back and realize that for the most part, the wider grand scheme of audience who have seen my films have never really seen Skippy per se. It doesn't matter if Skippy has been in 6 or 7 different movies. Um, the only wide release that the character of Skippy was in was something like Sex Squatch, or PIA, and those are limited releases regardless if they're out there in the world. I mean, the Sex Squatch Blu-ray that SRS did, they only made like 100 of them, and now they're like fucking out of print, which is stupid. But uh, and that was years ago. So to an audience member, they might have never seen Skippy at all, that character. So I always try to tell Andrew, like, Andrew, bro, like, a handful of people have seen this character. Like, it doesn't matter that you get tired of playing him. Nobody has seen him. Uh, I love writing him. So I don't know. I know for a fact that I'll be able to get Andrew playing Skippy again. I do know that. But he has a really fun, offbeat, odd character that he plays in Wellsville Nights, which is you know, the character that he plays is in every episode. So Blue Cheese Brothers recently reinvigorated my love for Ernest. You should never drop your love for Ernest. He's a national treasure, and I'm not joking. Andrew, have you considered using Adrian's Med again from PIA? No, that character will not be showing up. That's one of my favorite Jason roles. Hmm, interesting. Gurr SRS. You better believe it, Gurr SRS. Yeah, I mean, ugh, I wish they would just let me buy the rights back to all my movies that they own. Uh, I would actually be doing something with them, not just nothing, shelving them. Um, the characters that I really love writing for Jason are the really weirder, the goofier characters. Desmond St. Croix is fun, the Jamaican. Um, I love T Bone. But anytime I can get him to do like a weird voice and really like contort his face and do some weird shit, um, that's the best. Like the worst stuff, like not everybody can play like the straight person in a Chris Seaver movie. And when I mean that, it's just like the one who isn't. I guess it would be the person that the audience sees through their eyes, as opposed to every other wacky character around that person. And not everyone is good at that. And it's some of the worst stuff to write for me. because it just isn't as fun. But Meredith is somebody who can do the straight character really well. She's really good at it, and she brings a lot of energy to it. Um, and she can get away with it. I think Sean is good at that too. Um, but then on the flip side, he has Shawnee Ramone. You know, um, so Nicole. Yes. Hello, Nicole. Nicole. Low budget pictures and Warlock home videos. Nicole is in the chat. But yes, Nicole needs a character, and that's up to me to give it to her. Any self-respecting fan of Ernest owes it themselves to see Hey Vern. It's my family album. Yes, an '80s classic that aired on ABC. Andrew, I thought Jason was still really weird in that role, and the lines he had were funny. I mean, I agree. He's still good. Um, it's just it's much better for all of us, for everybody involved, if I write a wacky character and everyone gets to play a wacky character. So you know, you will be happy to know that in the new film, very few people are not uh, over the top character wise. Um, most every character in this new film, it's definitely a heightened reality for sure. You should be intrigued, Andrew. If it were up to me, I mean, everyone would know what the hell we're making. I honestly don't know why um, Bookwalter wants to keep it a secret for right now. I mean, he basically let me just say almost everything about it, other than the title and what it's about. That I can get. That I understand, um, but at least saying the title, I don't know. Whatever, whatever. He's the he's the producer. He's the guy. He's the money man. Whatever he wants goes. I'm just glad we get to do it. J.R. Bookwalter is producing the new film that I'm doing. Um, and I haven't made a movie for JR since 2010. So it's nice to be back in the saddle with Make Flicks Tempe making a brand new Chris Seaver film. Yes, he is a good dude. He he is the reason why anybody knows who the hell we are 23 years ago. Giving us worldwide distribution. I made 13 movies for JR. And as I said, Debbie Rashawn is back, who again I haven't made a movie with since 2009. Haven't seen personally since 2012. So it's going to be great to get her back in the group. And she's playing a fun character. And it's not a cameo, she's in the whole movie, and it'll be her ninth, I think, ninth movie with us. Andrew, what else has Debbie been in my movies, or what has she been in movies in general? Just go to IMDb and look up her credits. It's vast. um, let's see, my movies. She's in Karaoke Kid. She's in Malva Zombie Ass Kicker. She's in Filthy McNasty. She's in Anal Paprika 3. Um, she's in Malva 2. She is Malva in Malva 2. She is in the movie we made for Trauma. Um, Scrotal Vengeance. She's also in Scrotal Vengeance. Uh, it's called Teenage versus the Monster Nazi Apocalypse. It was a nightmare to make for them, and after a 10-year relationship with them, it ruined the relationship, and I have not been friends with Lloyd since 2009 because of that movie. Which you can hear all about in the documentary that was made about me and low budget pictures called Zero Budget Heroes: The Legend of Chris Seaver and Low Budget Pictures, which is coming out soon. Um, if you don't know, filmmaker Zach Oliveris came to me 3 years ago and asked if I wanted to be the subject of a documentary. He found me and the group very intriguing, so he wanted to make a documentary, and he did. And he spent 3 years of his life making it. It did the film festival circuit, won a bunch of awards, and it is now almost about to come out on physical media and streaming. Um, and you can find more out about that film at Zodoc Films right here. He also has the trailer and poster up for his documentary, which you can go to. I just posted it right here in the links. You can check out what's happening. Soon, that page that he gave me will be a storefront, and you'll be able to pick up the Blu-ray. I know he's doing a VHS release as well. Blu-ray VHS. I think the Blu-ray is a 2 disc set. Um, and then it's going to hit streaming as well at some point this year. So yeah, it's an almost 2 hour documentary about me growing up from the day I was born in '77 till he finished the doc in 2001. Lots of stories in that doc. And I agree, Nicole. It is a great doc. You did a great job. It's very surreal and bizarre to see a full length documentary about yourself and your history and your life, basically. But he did a great job. I'm glad I said yes. But yeah, back to Debbie. She's amazing. She's amazing, and she's excited to jump back in. She said she can't wait to make another Chris Seaver adventure. So it'll be great to have her. Well, there you go. You are extremely interested to hear that. Well, it's quite a tale, and it's all there in that documentary. The director recently had a child, so that is what is holding up the release on his end. So, but I do know it is soon. It is very soon, guys. And believe me, once he puts it out and puts out the info, I will put out all the info on all of my social medias. It'll go up on my Instagram. It'll go up on the Facebooks. It'll go up on YouTube. It'll go up on uh, my genitalia. All of that stuff. It'll be there. Thank you guys for yapping. Please, more questions. Nicole, I did talk about the Florida convention, which I'll be selling at April 14th and 15th. 15th and 16th. One of those two. Friday and Saturday, April, whatever that is. See me, me, me. I will never do either of those. I go to Florida. I've been ever since 2015. I've gone to Florida like every year. Um, but I was telling earlier, I had said that you know I've been going to horror conventions since 1993, selling at horror conventions since 1996, and in all of that time, I have never promoted my films at a Florida convention before. So um, it'll be interesting, intriguing. I hope to meet some old and new fans alike. Should be dope. Nicole, talk about how much I loved Happy Death Day too. You talk about how much you loved it. It's great. I love them both, but yes, part two is uh is the superior of the two films. Gator eat anything. I guarantee. So what Nicole is referring to is that she came over a couple days ago and I showed her Happy Death Day 1 and 2 for the first time. For her. Um, she thought part 1 was okay but loved part 2. I love them both, but part 2 is definitely the best out of the 2. Leo. Hey, Chris. How's life and whatnot? Is this Leo? The Leo? Is this the Leo that I based the name Leo DeChamp on? Who has abandoned their love of Chris Seaver films? Hello, Leo. Leo, that is you. Leo. So this Leo in the chat, guys, he used to be an uber fan of LBP and all the films, and uh, I named the character Leo DeChamp after Leo. Leo DeChamp. His the first time I wrote Leo, the first time Josh and I ever talked about that character was for Wet Heat in 2007. Wet Heat. Nicole, don't be like that. You never know if there's going to be a third one or not. You never know. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. They can't leave it like that. He also said at one point that he knows where the third one would go. So you got that. You got that right. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Mick Panic. What's your favorite cartoon of all time? Can't I wouldn't even be able to tell you. There's too many '80s cartoons that I love. Um, and yes, whatever that cartoon would be, it would be from the '80s. I like cartoons of modern times, but nothing as special as the cartoons that we had growing up in the '80s. So it definitely would be an '80s cartoon for sure. Oddly enough, they did a novelization of the first two movies combined. It's kind of cool, to be honest. Ooh, I like that. I'll have to look into that. Hmm. Do I consider myself an anime fan? Um, I there's things in the world of Japanimation that I enjoy. Um, so in 1993, when they really started hitting VHS and coming out through the manga label, and Akira was coming out, and you know, Wicked City and Vampire Hunter D and all that stuff. I loved all of that stuff. The modern stuff, uh, I don't know, not so much. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like I like the Castlevania anime that's on Netflix. I thought that was pretty great. Um, but I mean, I guess traditional. I Nothing is really like you know tugged at my sack. Really. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can count Voltron. I watched Voltron, Robotech, things like that growing up in the '80s. I definitely did. Um, um, but like, it's not something that I still have Akira and things that you would consider like the classic anime movies and whatnot. Like, I love the Guyver series. Um, uh, the original Battle Angel, um, original video animation, but the book was good too. Um, you know, things like that. Fist of the North Star. Yeah, hell yeah. Joseph Ninja Scroll. Hell yeah. That's a great one. Do I like the horror genre or comedy genre more? The best films combine the two. I mean, it's my wheelhouse, I guess. It's what I loved the most growing up. Um, and I consider myself a comedy filmmaker. I'm not like a horror filmmaker. I make comedies with like horror themes in them. But first and foremost, they are comedies. I prefer absurdist, weird, um, odd, offbeat comedies to to any sort of I guess mainstream comedy. Um, and horror comedies can be hit and miss. Um, so yeah, but I mean, I also listen. I also love science fiction. I love fantasy. You know, I love crazy over the top action films. You know, Star Blazers, After School, mid '80s was my thing. Yeah, Battle of the Planets. Speaking of Guyver, when is the Guyver 2 gonna get physical release? I know. I used to have the DVD. That was my favorite one out of the 2. Steve Wang, was a fan of my stuff, and he is the reason he gave me the title Destruction Kings to use in the US. So my 2005 movie Destruction Kings is because of Steve Wang. Um, uh, he said that nobody had the rights to it in the US, but they were using it overseas for, um, Drive, his movie Drive, which is amazing. Um, when I was telling him what the new movie was in 2005, what I was working on, he was like, "I'll give you a title. You can have this title." And he gave me Destruction Kings. Blood Fart Lake, of course, that is um, uh, did anyone check out the cool new Blood Fart Lake music video? A real hit. Yeah, so in when we were making Blood Fart Lake in 2008, um, we put together like a dumb music video slash trailer for the film after we shot the movie. while we were all there, we just did it to this really terrible, cheesy shit song that's in Beyond Reanimator, which is not a good movie, and the song is even worse. It's called Move Your Dead Bones, and it's this like fucking techno weird shit song. And I just thought it would be funny if that was our trailer and we made like a shitty music video of it. Well, the music video never really came out. 2008 at the time when we put the music video slash trailer up on YouTube, they immediately took it down because of the song. But now it's, because it's not monetized, it can go up. Um, so if you want to see our shitty trailer slash music video for Blood Fart Lake, it is now on the Crep from the '80s channel. It is up there. I agree. Schlockaholics, either Mo or Larry or Curly. The Guyver movies are essential. It's crazy the amount of people into this stuff that still haven't seen them, but I'm always stoked to make them aware of them. Yeah, Steve Wang is a fucking genius. No, fuck that movie. I just played that song for some people and told them about making that music video. Then you posted it 2 days later. I willed it into existence. Yeah, I was glad I was able to grab it and put it back up there for people's terror. Mm, yeah, well, squeedle deedle. Mosley, I agree. I agree with you. And I used to really love Bride. Um, and then rewatching it, like probably 2 years ago, I rewatched it after not watching it for a little bit. And I was like, you know what? This is not as good as I thought it was. It's got some great moments in it. And they went, definitely went overboard with the special effects, all that stuff. Screaming Mad George and the KNB guys, they definitely whet the whistle of the gore hounds. But the original is hands down the best. You're the best. Nice, nice shirt. Thanks, man. Punish. Speaking about comedy horror, anyone see Psychos in Love? Yeah, I've seen Psychos in Love. I don't find it funny or horrible. I mean, I guess it's horrible in a different way. Horror. But yeah, I'm not a fan. uh, I actually think the original Amityville is quite boring. So I would say, even though most of the Amityvilles after are ridiculous, at least they're far more entertaining than the original, as far as I'm concerned. Mech Pilot 77, most underrated sequel. Shit. Uh, I don't know. Underrated sequel. Hmm. I don't know. I love a lot of sequels, and most of the sequels I love would, I guess, be considered underrated. But I guess I don't care what anybody else thinks about what I like or what I don't like. So I don't know. Hmm. It's a good question. Yes. Sean, that might be correct. As far as other people are concerned, because I think it's mwah, I think it's a masterpiece. But Warlock Armageddon, I love Warlock Armageddon. I actually adore that film. Um, so I don't know if I consider Rumblefish a sequel per se. I guess I know it. I I think I get what you're talking about, but as far as maybe the books are concerned, I don't know. I think as far as Coppola doing them back to back, I mean, I adore The Outsiders. Um, Andrew Scruggs. I mean, are you talking about Warlock 2? Well, it might not be badass for you, but it is to me. Um, I love it. I love it far more than the first movie. Um, and there is no Warlock 3. They may have made something that was called Warlock 3, but there is no Warlock 3 in my mind. It's fucking terrible. Um, but Warlock Armageddon, if you want to hear me wax about Warlock Armageddon, you can go to the Schlockaholics page on YouTube, where Mosley and I talk about the Warlock films and my love, and I show off my Warlock Armageddon collection. Good movie. Good flick. Fuck Warlock 3. It doesn't exist. Not in this dojo. That's a fucking shame about Julian Sands, too. Jesus. He was Great. No, they have not found him. He's dead. I mean, he gone. Mosley using a Caspian picture. Yeah, I mean, he's now got a beard, long hair. He's living off the land in a cave. He's married a wolf. He has three ways with some bears and shit. You never know. Stranger things. He's painting with his dong, carving into the rock. Mm. I think some scruffy dude. It could have been him. It could have been him. You never know, Mosley. You never know. I was gonna say, another. I guess maybe in the. I actually I don't know what the general consensus is of fans for the Young Guns films, but I love them both. And I mean, I guess I could see Young Guns 2 being an underrated sequel, but I've always loved them both since I saw them in the late '80s in 1990. I mean, I can't. I saw Young Guns 2, I think 4 or 5 times in the theater when that hit. Um, because I rented the hell out of the first Young Guns, and they're getting 4K transfers finally. They're coming out 4K, which you better believe I'm gonna get. The Blu-rays don't do those movies justice, but yeah, I like Young Guns too. 4K marathon day, man. I'll do any fucking marathons any day. You know. I mean, Hellraiser, I would do any fucking day, but I'll only go up to 4. I won't do the movies after. Um, no thanks. 1 through 4 are my Hellraiser films, and that's it. Although I do like the new one that was on Hulu, that they made for Hulu. That one was solid. I like that. I like that take, that reimagining. Mech Pilot. No, I do not know the release dates, but They're out there. Just type in, Young Guns 4K, and you might get more of a, you know, more info. I just know they're coming. Oh yeah, I'll talk Hellraiser 1 through 4. But yeah, Nicole. I mean, I'll set up a Hellraiser 1 through 4 marathon. Yeah. Sean, am I stoked for Indy 5? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Regardless of Indy 4, I am stoked for Indy 5. It's still Indiana Jones. I'm still gonna go see it. I'll say this about Indiana Jones 4. Um, I I don't have much of an issue with Indiana Jones 4 other than Shia. I do not like Shia in Indy 4. I think he's terrible. I think the character is terrible. Um, it's acted terrible and it's written terrible. Um, I think the plot of Indy 4 is absolutely fine. I don't know why people got all up in arms over the plot of Indiana Jones 4. It's like it's like they completely forgot what happened in the other Indiana Jones movies. And then was like, "4 aliens, other dimensions. Oh my goodness. I just can't deal with this. This is ridiculous. This is too far-fetched." And then the shit that's happening in those 3 other movies. Well, I mean, that's real life. That's some serious shit, you know. Indy's dealing with ghosts and voodoo and ancient mystical things and holy grails and all this shit. I don't know. You falling out of planes in a fucking you know blow up boat. I don't know. Like, so 4 really didn't seem that far fetched to me. It's fucking pulp. It's adventure. And so that stuff I have no problem with in Indy 4. It's just holy shit, that mutt fucking character ruins that movie for me. It's just garbage. I don't know why they did it. Um, if he wasn't in it, if I could get an edit of that movie that has none of the mutt shit in it, I think it'd be a really fun indie movie. You know. So Indiana Jones 5, I'm all about, and again, they can get as far fetched as they want. I'm all about that stuff. So I'm intrigued. I'm gonna be in a theater watching another Indiana Jones movie and listening to that fucking John Williams score. I'm excited for it. So yeah, Mosley, yeah, Shia LaBeouf in Indy 4 is just repugnant. He's just unbearably terrible. Um, just can't do it. Joe. The later Hellraiser films are fucking deplorable. However, I've watched a lot of them with my pal Andrew, and we've just riffed them to hell. We just like, totally mystery science theater them. So that is fun. But trying to watch them and have them be like good, coherent Hellraiser films, they fail on every fucking level. So Evil Dead Rise, Nicole, I can't wait. I can't wait. There is no cautiously about it, Mosley. I am 100% hyped and excited for that movie. Um, I am on board. The 2013 reboot, remake, whatever it was delicious. Loved it. So, I am very much looking forward to our April 22nd hootenanny at the theater to watch Evil Dead Rise, and then go out and discuss it. I'm pumped. I think it's gonna be great. Yeah, the 2013 one, I mean, I pop that in, like, regularly. I just think it's so good. I mean, Nicole, I mean, maybe at some point, but not immediately after, if we're all gonna go out and eat and talk and everything. I don't know. But yeah, we definitely should put together an Evil Dead Rise chat for sure. I want to see a bunch. I want to go out to see Dungeons and Dragons. I want to see Mario Brothers this month. That's all this month. I want to see that fucking the 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 Pope's Exorcist or whatever that fucking movie is. I want to see that. Uh, Evil Dead Rise. Yeah, it's a hefty, chunky month. I'm on a live stream, babe. Just so as you know. No. Oh, I do want to see Renfield. Yes, yes, I do. Oh, again, I mean, mech pilot to each their own. It didn't hit you the way it hit us or me, and that's okay. Movies are subjective. All art is subjective. Pop culture subjective. When Army of Darkness opened up in the theaters, me and my friend Kyle walked out of that movie being highly disappointed, and it is my least favorite of the Evil Dead films. Army of Darkness. So, one man's poop is another man's chocolatey goodness. That's what I say. Here they are doing a Street Fighter reboot movie. Yeah, I did. Hopefully, it'll be better than that piece of garbage that came out in the '90s or whenever the fuck it was. There you go, Fozman X hated Army of Darkness. Just saying. See, I didn't hate it, but it was definitely like when you love Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 so much, and you're excited to go see a third Evil Dead movie, and they give you that. Uh, you know, we just walked out very disappointed. We were disappointed teenagers coming out of that movie. Yeah, Cody, no, you're never gonna. I'm sure you actually really like that movie, but there's a no. That's a no go for me. It is garbage. It is pure trash. Any excitement for upcoming physical releases? Yeah, I mean, I guess there's stuff coming out that I'm excited for. Um, I don't know offhand. I can tell you what, like, and I hope this wasn't the case, but I remember Criterion talking about um, remastering the Heroic Trio and the Executioners. I love those movies. Those movies are fantastic. And every release I've ever had of those two movies look pretty terrible. So when they talked about and they showed off um, how they were remastering those movies, I got super excited. And I'm hoping it's not just for their channel, their streaming channel. I hope they're going to be coming out on Blu-ray because yeah, those two movies are wonderful. Cody, I've seen that, and I just because it's Empire doesn't mean I want to own them. I'm not like you and Mosley. I don't have to get everything. Um, I'll get what I like, but I won't get movies that I don't want to watch or don't like. It's a waste of space. It's a waste of money um, just to have them. You know. So we have three cats, by the way, guys. You cat lovers on the channel. But again, that's to you. But you can't tell me, Mosley, that you own a lot of fucking shit and you get them just because you're getting them because they're a part of something or a part of a company that you love or things like that. Like you probably have 75% garbage on your shelves. So I am not like that. And I'm not, that is great. That's you. And that's many people, you know. People collect just to fucking collect. They'll never watch the movies, That's just what they do, They collect because, "Oh, look at the art," when they're never gonna be looking at the fucking art because it's gonna be on shelves, you know? Um, for me, I am very specific. I get what I want, what I love, what I like. I don't blind buy. Uh, I don't get, uh, the movie just because it's in a special package or anything like that. If it's the only way that it's available, then I'll get it, but I don't, I like my shit I want it concise, you know? Unfortunately, I like the first 3 Leprechaun films on Blu-ray, and they have all those special features, but you gotta get it with that set. I don't care about those other Leprechaun movies. They're garbage. I didn't like them. Like a Wishmaster. I just want Wishmaster, but you had to get it with that other garbage, you know? Yes, you've heard me say it many times, Cody. One man's poop is another man's chocolatey goodness. Hello, how are you? Everybody's fucking flipping out about the cats. They're like, "Oh my god, I want that cat! I want that cat!" What doctor? Yeah, I said that we have 3 of them. Yeah. Yeah, there 2 are. Did you tell him doctor has extra toes? Guys, doctor has extra toes. I think Nicole actually did. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Hold on. No, I'm not gonna do an episode about the fucking cats. Sorry. Mosley, Dolls, Cellar Dweller, Dungeon Master, Arena, and Robot Jocks, all with new scans and new special features. Solid set for sure if you're into that kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, Arena is fun. I'd rather talk about Charles. uh, Top favorite full moon movies, Cody? Shit. Well, see, I love the first three subspecies films. Um, I love Puppet Master 3. I mean, I don't hate I actually like and I'll only own Puppet Master 1 through 6. Those are the only films I like and can stand. Like, I have Trancers 1, 2, and 3. I don't think 4 and 5 are very good, and I'll never fucking own 6. 6 is a turd fest. But 4 and 5 just aren't as good to me as the first 3, so I'm not gonna own them. I don't care if it's a series. I don't need to have that in my collection. I love Doll Man. I think the first Doll Man movie is great. I love Castle Freak. Woo! Mwah. That's a great one. My favorite Jim Wynorski film is probably Chopping Mall. Um, but I also think Death Stalker 2 is pretty terribly fun. Terrible, but fun. But I genuinely really love Chopping Mall. I think probably, as far as I'm concerned, his best film he's ever made. Yeah, I saw that. Modern Full Moon is something that I am not a fan of. I'm so over the moon for um, Subspecies 5, and I've been wanting that movie since the last Subspecies movie. And it looks like Ted Nicolau was able to fucking wrestle some actual budget out of Charles Cockles and do something decent with Subspecies 5. So I'm excited for that. But everything else, Full Moon, the last like 10, 15 years, no thanks. They're just not for me. They just aren't good, and so I do not own them, and I have no I get no enjoyment out of them. Uh, I agree with that mostly. The last thing that I think that I could tolerate from modern Full Moon was trophy heads, and I felt like for like an instant, I was like, "Hmm, Charles actually seems like he gives a tiny shit making this. Um, but that was a while ago. Uh, yeah, so Ginger Dead Man 2, Cody, I think is really clever. Um, every other Ginger Dead Man and fucking Evil Bong and all that garbage, that is that is no, no thanks. But Ginger Dead Man 2, I thought they did a really, I mean, Dave Dakota, you know, uh, poking fun at themselves, poking fun at Full Moon themselves, and I really loved that aspect about Ginger Dead Man 2. Mosley, I would agree, but I love Terra Firma way more. But my favorite Dave Dakota, very easy. It's Dr. Alien or uh, I was a teenage sex mutant. So the first time I saw that movie was probably 91 or 92. I'm 15 years old, and on the USA Network, they have a movie on called I Was a Teenage Sex Mutant. That was the title of the movie. It was not called Dr. Alien. Um, and then, a little bit later, I saw the cover of the VHS in Video Connection, and I was like, Dr. Alien? This isn't Dr. Alien. This is I Was a Teenage Sex Mutant. Um, but it was that movie, so Dr. Alien. Like I I have thought about for years making my own sequel to Dr. Alien or a reimagining or a reboot of Dr. Alien, but with my sensibilities and my humor and everything, and just sending it to Full Moon just to see what they would think. Um, because that movie would be right up my alley to either do a sequel to or remake. I love that film, and I wish they would do a Blu-ray release of that. Billy Jane's second best performance is his first. Just one of the guys. Don't forget Parker Lewis can't lose. He's awesome in Parker Lewis. Billy Jane, Billy Jacoby. Oh man, I'm telling you, like I would do it on spec. Cody, am I gonna have any con exclusive at Tampa Bay Screams? No, no, I'm not. Uh, the pre-order though for Saturday Morning Sleepover Volume 4 is going up tomorrow. Pre-orders are gonna start for Part 4. Um, but because there's so much going on, because I'm doing this pre-production um for the new movie, I almost said what it is. Um, I can't. I just don't have the time to do a new classics video. Um, but I but I mean, I guess to the Florida people, because I've never done a convention out there, I guess it'll all be new to them what I'm taking out there. So, I mean, it's just called. There's no real theme anyway to the Saturday morning sleepovers. I mean, other than that first one, which was the Halloween theme. I think this Christmas we'll have a Christmas one, but this one doesn't really have a theme. But the title is called "The '80s Strike Back." Um, but yeah, and it's because we're doing a Saturday morning sleepover this Saturday. I'm using what I just curated for our in-house event for the new volume, which is some good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Fun stuff, weird stuff. Um, and for you guys who have seen the previous three that I've released, there's certain things that I make sure are in every single Saturday morning sleepover that I've done. Um, there is a particular song that Alan Thicke does that is in. It's just going to always be a part um, of every Saturday morning sleepover. So you know, I hope people aren't like, oh, he already had this in the last, but it's because it's a theme. It's a running joke. It's always in Saturday morning sleepover, and we even have a shirt in our T Public store um, of that particular gag for Saturday morning sleepover. Sweaty and hot for sure. Um, and we do have a T Public store. It's low budget pictures. Let me see if I can put the link in there. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Oh, it's Crep from the '80s. It's It Crep from the '80s. I thought I had changed it, but I guess not, guys. So here's the link to all the shirts of the T Public. It's got LBP and Warlock stuff and '80s stuff. So I'm soaked on the general ones and the recurring jokes, but I love the idea of the themed ones too. So I'm always going to look forward to those too. The Warlock shirt about a month ago. Awesome, awesome. Um, yeah, we'll do. I will do a Christmas one. The only reason I wasn't able to do one this past Christmas was because the editing software that I was using got all fucked up, and that had to be taken off the computer, and so I got a new software. So um, these Saturday morning sleepovers can commence properly. You can view many examples of dudes wearing Seaver shirts by watching Schlockaholics. That's right, Schlockaholics on YouTube. Go check it out. Um, Very good stuff, movie geeks, horror geeks, schlock geeks, turd geeks, all that stuff. It's a good show, and I frequent it often. People should go check it out. Schlockaholics YouTube. You're gonna go watch Death of Lantern the remake. Have a good night and stoink stoink, my good man. Indeed, go watch that. By the way, MakeFlix is putting out um, a brand new official Blu-ray release of Death of Lantern 1, 2, and the remake all on its own disc. And we did special features for them, new features, and they're going to be cleaned up, and they will be officially released probably by October, I think. Um, so yeah, they have new behind the scenes. We did a whole sort of retrospective of the three films, and there's brand new audio commentary for the three movies. So heroic waffles. Hello. Makeflix is going to be releasing that disc with the three movies on them. Makeflix.com, JR's company. Stingy Jack, indeed. And we are, believe me, guy, there will be a proper shot on VHS Death on Lantern 3. Um, that is going to happen. That is on the list. We've been saying it for years, but it is going to happen with the original Stingy Jack. It's in the original timeline of one and two, the shot on video classics of one and two. Uh, so yeah, thanks for popping in. Hope you have a good night as well. Stoink indeed. Yeah, he won't. Yeah. Oh, I forgot we have a Wellsville Nights T-shirt up there. Oh, there's a couple new T-shirts we put up there. That's nice. Excellent. Yes, 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 yes. Mosley Death Lantern 3 is going to be epic. Can't wait. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, we've had the story. I mean, Clint and I came up with the story like years ago. Um, so we're going to use the same story, and it'll be fun. It's going to be cool. Cody, my favorite Ernest movie. My favorite Ernest movie is Ernest Saves Christmas, followed by Ernest Scared Stupid and Goes to Jail. Those are like neck and neck. Um, I consider the first four Ernest films the Ernest films. Um, Goes to Camp, Saves Christmas, Goes to Jail, and um, Scared Stupid. And I saw the first five in theaters. Ernest Rides Again was the last theatrical Ernest film, and it tanked. It made $1 million. It tanked, and at the end of that movie, uh, which I hated that movie. Um, Ernest Rides Again is pretty terrible, but at the end of that movie, there's a trailer. It was very odd because I was about to fucking walk out, and then the trailer for Ernest Goes to School pops up on the big screen, and that was supposed to be the next theatrical Ernest film, but because Rides Again tanked so much, it went straight to video. I think Ernest Goes to School isn't that bad, and I actually think Slam Dunk Ernest isn't that bad either. Uh, but I do not like In the Army or Goes to Africa. I think those two are pretty terrible, along with Rides Again. But the first four theatrical Ernest films are what I consider like the creme de la creme of the Ernest saga. Uh, Dynamite Tiger. Oh my goodness! I finally get to live chat with D. Chrissy, Mike D. Here. Been watching you since 2019. Thanks for all your gang do. God bless. Hey, thank you. Thank you for watching. Mosley, Scared Stupid for me, of course. Runner up is Saves Christmas. Goes to Jail, number one. Yeah, I mean, listen, like those, you know, I think Goes to Camp is probably my least favorite because, if you're a kid growing up in the 80s, uh, and if there's new folks here, maybe they don't know, but I was born in 77. So, like, in the 80s, in the early 80s, like those Ernest commercials were on all the time, and especially in fucking Wellsville, New York, which was a rural like area. It's like this tiny little know nothing town that's in between Buffalo, New York, and Rochester, New York. And it takes 2 hours to get to each. Um, but so we were getting those Ernest commercials all the time, and they were hilarious. And so like when Ernest Goes to Camp was coming out, and all of us were going to the theater, and we were so excited, we thought we were going to get, I guess, a little more of the crazier, goofier Ernest, and he isn't quite Ernest. Even from the fucking ABC special, the family Ernest family album, he's more. It's crazier. Um, fucking, uh, Splash Mount Ernest Goes to Splash Mountain is crazier than Goes to Camp, and I can see what they were trying to do. So for me, Goes to Camp is probably the weakest of the uh, other than fucking Rides Again, which doesn't count. I hate it, but the weakest of the theatrical Ernest films. So it is like the lowest on the totem pole. Um, but those, I mean, Saves Christmas, Goes to Jail, and Scared Stupid are, you can't really argue with the magic of those three movies, you know. Nicole, which are we watching? For me, will always be the Blue Cheese Brothers, of course. Which are we watching on the 29th? I haven't quite put that together yet. I think we're gonna do 5 Ernest films. So I'm not quite sure yet. Mosley, still wish we got a modern release of those shoes from Slam Dunk Artist. Other movie shoes in recent years. The Air Max and Alien Stompers come to mind. Cody, the DVD Mill Creek did with the commercials are fun to watch. Yeah, I love that they did that, and I have, of course, I have all those, and I watched the TV show when it was on, the kids show, and I have that DVD as well. Ah, Dynamite Tiger Camp is your favorite. Oh yeah, and of course the one still stays in the memory to this day is Dr. Otto in the middle of the moonbeam. Yeah, I remember, and I didn't, and it's interesting. Somebody just brought that up a few weeks ago. Like, hey, have you seen this? I didn't know this existed. I'm like, yeah, it's not a well known thing of the Ernest saga. I guess it's an offshoot that Ernest sort of does like a wraparound to. He's sort of like introducing the film. He pops in and out, middle, beginning, and end sort of thing. It's a different tale, but it's a great character. But I don't, I guess I don't consider it part of the the core Ernest stuff. Fuck Mac and Me, Sean. Fuck that movie. Hated it when it came out. Hated it now. The only way I can watch it is Mystery Science Theater. That's the only way I can watch that fucking movie. Garbage. Mostly all art is subjective, but in this case, you are wrong. Fucking terrible. Sorry, guys. My teenager is being a teenager. The Gooch. Hello, Mr. Sievage. Hello. Nicole, farewell to all, especially to the three cats. Please kiss them each on the head for me. Never. Mosley, in terms of product placement, kids in wheelchairs and cooking. That Mac and me very well maybe the greatest cinematic achieve our time. No, no. Dynamite Tiger. I knew you would know that obscure one. You demand, kind of like you and the few of us '80s dudes that still fondly remember an unrelated '80s movie, Whitewater Summer. You know it, Whitewater Summer. I just got a theatrical poster of Whitewater Summer that I'll be putting up. Um, thanks to my buddy Bobby. He gifted that to me a couple weeks ago because he was like, you and three other people on this earth know what this movie is, and I know you'd appreciate it. So he got it for me. Sean, I found uh I didn't find Indy. The only one I found was Balok. I didn't find Marion. Uh like it's weird, like they've been straggly. Like I found like one of the like 12-inch plastic, voice big figures, one random like 6-inch of Sala, um, and and then him. So I picked Balak up, um, and just yesterday, I think I went to the local one that's near me, that's closest to me, and they had the tags up, but they didn't have any of the figures out there. Um, and I want those first initial grouping, uh, so. But at least I got that one in a very. I want to get doubles. I want to get because I love their vintage look. I love that original Kenner, you know, backing the card. But I also want to get them out of there and pose them and go on adventures with them. Yeah, when did you say that was coming out? Later in the summer? The Temple of Doom? I mean, that's the stuff. Like I definitely there's I I mean that line is like a whatever that was. What did they do? Like produce 3 or 4 figures out of that line? Oh, June. Okay, not too far. Not too far. Well, I definitely want to grab those. Yeah, yeah, mhm, mm, yeah, yeah, Well, you guys want to talk about anything else, or is this good? What's up? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My I'm dealing with my kid's supposed to be. He's 16. He's telling lies. I don't know. He's supposed to be one place. He might be in another place. I'm trying to figure this out. Um. Yeah. I mean, listen, guys. I don't care. Ask away. Ask questions. Talk to me. I am not. I don't care. Anybody can ask questions, and don't think you're hogging. It's weird. This thing can go. It can be rocking and rolling for an hour, and things are going fine, and then it like gets quiet, and nobody says anything, and so it's whatever. You got something to say? You got something to talk about? You got something to ask? I'm right here. I'll leave. I'll leave in 15 minutes. I'll call it 9:30, and then I'll get off this thing. So if anybody has anything they want to talk about, let's wrap. I appreciate that, Dynamite Tiger. I do. Thank you, Cody. Favorite things about Disney World? Everything. I love it. I love Disney World. In fact, we're going back for our week long vacation in June. Try to go. We try to go to Florida every year. Disney and Universal. Love it. So much fun. Never have a bad time. Cody, I mean, I don't care about the prices. I mean, like you're going to fucking Disney, you're going to Universal, you save up and that's why you're going. You're going to have a good time. Um, People saying, "Oh, it's so expensive." Then don't go. You know? Like that's not me being a dick. It's just like if you're going, you're planning on going to these expensive places. You know what you're getting into. Like you just save up, and we've been saving. We always have to save up because it's the one time where you're just gonna go nuts. So I don't know, I love it. I have such a good time. I don't care how many times I've been, I love them both. Disney World and Universal, they're so much fun. I never have a bad time. If I could live in any universe, what would it be? I'd live in the '80s universe. I'd go back to the '80s. If there was another universe that was all '80s all the time, that's where I would be, no questions asked. I would be there. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna we're definitely and we are listen, we will pay for those Genie Plus passes for every fucking ride, everything that we wanna do, especially those 2 new rides. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna go in June. Um, but yes, we will be doing the Tron and the Guardians ride. Um, Sean, yes, I have seen what they're doing with the big universe, the new Universal Park. When they're gonna have the Nintendo World, and they're gonna have the Universal Monsters World, and there's gonna be like How to Train Your Dragon, and all sorts of other stuff in this new expanding universe, Universal Park, and I'm excited for all of it. I'm all about that. Fozman X. What's the last movie that had the Choach character in it? And would you ever reprise the Johnny Douchebag character from McNastier? Johnny Douchebag. The last time I did Johnny Douchebag, well, Johnny Douchebag is in all three of the Heather and Pugly films. Johnny Douchebag is also in Death o' Lantern 2. So yeah, I've done Johnny Douchebag a lot. Um, Jock DeQueef, I've done a lot. Choach, the last Choach appearance was Filthy McNasty 4, 2010. That was the last Choach. I've tried to get AJ out here. He lives out in um, Utah, and I've I would love to have AJ make a return appearance in a film. Cody, I totally get it. If you try to penny pinch while you are there, you will be miserable. My wife worked for Disney for 5 years, and we get to go for free. Yeah, I mean, like we've got a buddy who works out at Disney, and he every time we go, he saves us 600, $700 because he gives us multiple passes for Park Hopper for multiple days. Um, and that's how we're able to pull a lot of it off, but you still gotta, I mean, you're saving up for, we always stay on at the resorts. We like the French Quarter. uh, so you're paying for that, you're paying for the food, you're paying for other fun stuff that you want to do, so we always save up every time we're gonna go. So um, Dynamite Tiger. I've made music all my life, and last year I made fun dance remix mashup song of Weird Science that I've been meaning to send you somehow. I know you're a Weird Science fan, an Oingo Boingo fan, as am I. Heck yeah, I would hear that. Yeah, we actually did a for my silly short, which is on the Stoinky Saga Blu-ray. We did a Stoink Mare Before Christmas, which is basically a very cheap shot on VHS, no budget Weird Science, um, and we did a goofy Weird Science song that is called "Stoinky Christmas." But yeah, I mean, just you can send it to me, warlockhomevideo@gmail.com. What Disney hotels have I stayed at? We have stayed at um, French Quarter twice. We've stayed at the I guess they're considered the cheaper ones. Like we've stayed at like the animation one, we've stayed at the music one. Um, uh, we've stayed at Animal Kingdom offsite. We are staying at Riverside, French Quarter, Riverside this time. Um, yeah, All Star Movies, The Art of Animation. We've stayed at. Yes, Pop Century. We've stayed at Riverside. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I've been to Disneyland once. I went with actually my buddy Sean, who's in the chat. And I found Disneyland to be subpar. I didn't like it as much. But what I will say is, um, I love Disneyland's pirates more than I love Disney World's pirates. And I also thought that the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland was one of the most fun rides um, I've been on. And I like a lot of rides, but I really, really enjoyed the Indiana Jones ride. Um, but I don't like how small and compressed Disneyland is. And with the amount of people that are out there in Anaheim that go to that park, it's just, I don't like that feeling. So it's just too much. So I very much prefer Disney World. And we like every park at Disney World. Yeah, again, every time we go to Florida, we also do Universal. We'll do half the vacation at Disney and then half at Universal. And Universal's great as well. Super fun. Both of those parks are really fun. It's just great. I mean, and especially if you love movies, you know. Um, so for me, yeah, it's a great time. Uh, I say believe the hype. But it can be different for different people. It just depends on what you're looking for, you know? Um, I just in general love being in the parks in general. So I get happy and excited just being there, you know? Universal City Walk is also just fun to be in. Same with Disney Springs. I like the atmosphere. I like the sounds. I like the smells. I like what I'm seeing, the visuals. It's all very exciting to me. So anytime that you can step out of your mundane life, I guess, is pretty exciting to me. Top three favorite Disney rides. Well, Indiana Jones at Disneyland. But I really love. Well, now it's gone, but I loved Splash Mountain. Um, I loved Big Thunder Mountain. I do love Rise of the Resistance. I thought that was amazing. I like Flight of Passage. Um, but you know what? Man, I really love, and they're not really like explosive rides, but I just love the fun and ingenuity of Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean. Like they're so like vintage and classic, but they're just I don't know. I always have a smile on my face. Um, on those rides, there's just something about them that just I don't know. They're very nostalgic, and they're two things that I love. Um, and of course, the Haunted Mansion is just if you're a horror fan and you're a monster kid, you just love that whole vibe is great. I did both. We get and when Sean and Bobby and I did Disneyland Haunted Mansion, it was during, Halloween. So it was, uh, Nightmare Before Christmas themed, and it it stopped. We were in the middle of it, and it stopped, and the lights went on, and we had to walk out of the ride. Um, yeah, I do not like Space Mountain. Hate that ride. Same with the Mummy ride at Universal. That's a little too much. Too much. That's not my favorite Universal ride, but I really love ET. Um, every time we're there, we ride it at least twice. It's fun. It's really fun. Ah, excellent. Okay, thanks, Dynamite Tiger. I will check that out. I will put that in the old. I will listen to it later. I see you. There you are, Dynamite Tiger. I'll be checking this out, my friend. Thank you. You got some nice 80s and 90s themed stuff here. Ooh, I like this. What's this? All right. What you got going on here? Yeah, excellent. Thank you, Dynamite. Yeah. Again, me and Sean and Bobby and Casey went out to Halloween Horror Nights. It was a lot of fun. Um, well, at that time when we went, uh, the theming, I mean, they're not really like scary. Um, so I guess the theming, um, like when they did Poltergeist, that was fun. That was impressive. Um, their Stranger Things was pretty cool. Again, it's all about the theming, because none of us ever really like we didn't jump or get scared or anything. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we had a favorite. I don't know what Sean thought. Oh, we liked the. I guess we liked the Trick or Treat as well. But for me personally, I really liked the Poltergeist that was out there. Um, we also liked the holiday theming one where you go through, and it was like Krampus, and then it had like like Easter, or it was themed. It was like this walkway, and um, there was a horror holiday at every little like stop you were going through. Um, oh, the Universal one was cool too. We walked through where Frankenstein came out and the Wolfman and stuff like that. That was pretty sweet. Well, here we go, guys. That was it. 9:30. Oh, I wanna see that, Andrew. When what is that, like Screambox, something like that? Gotta see if I can get that. Living with Chucky, that's a documentary I do wanna see. Wanna check that out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Alright, guys. Well, I'm gonna split 2. Wait. Okay, yeah. Shane, thanks for sharing. Had a blast so much so that my pizza got cold. I'll be back in touch with you for more titles. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Thank you, everybody who stopped by. Again, if you want to get a hold of me for any of my movie titles, just holler at me at Gmail at warlockhomevideo@gmail.com and I'll show you what Blu-ray titles I have. I am launching the pre-orders for Saturday Morning Sleepover Volume 4 tomorrow. And again, it's going to be a limited release of 25 for $25. Um, and so yeah. And then I'm going to try to shoot a video for Saturday Morning Sleepover this Saturday. We are doing a new one. There's going to be a whole bunch of people here. So that's exciting. And maybe we'll come back here next Tuesday before I head off to Florida for the convention. And yeah, and thanks for hanging out. Thanks for talking, chatting, enjoying the time. Thanks for being a subscriber to the channel. I appreciate that. And we will see all you guys later. Have a great night, everybody. And we'll talk. Until next time, goodbye.